I'll go ahead and get started.
Nada.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I just want to thank everybody for joining. I think it's really important that we were able to meet today, especially with everything that's going on with the COVID-19 in relation to mental health. It's just trying to pull everybody together. We know that we're all really hit with this pandemic, and it's changed the lives for all of us. So the purpose of this call is really just to kind of check in on each other and, you know, let everybody know. Hold on, I think this is. Hold on a second. Uh-oh, there it goes. Okay, so the purpose of the call is just to kind of check in on each other, let the viewers know that we're all in this thing together, and that COVID-19, it doesn't discriminate, and we all have to do our part to stay well and stay healthy, and that's mentally, that's physically, emotionally. And when I initially thought about what I wanted to do to try to help people during this time, and I knew that I wanted to get us all together to share with everyone what we're going through, how we're coping during these times, and I think that would be helpful for everyone out there. And so I just want us to kind of share what self-care means to us. I want us to share a large group of people that we have. So before I begin, I want to first introduce you guys to a great friend of mine. She's at the top. That's Dr. Dawn. She is amazing. Dr. Dawn, she's based out in Houston, Texas. She's a double board certified child and adult psychiatrist, and she works a lot with athletes as well. In fact, she has this mental health athletics program that provides like a mental health framework for a lot of the guys with and athletes as well, and I think she works with a couple others. So she'll be able to share more about that a little bit later. I just wanted y'all to say hello to Dr. Dawn.
Hello, Dr. Dawn.
Hello, Dr. Dawn.
Y'all, how y'all doing?
Hello, Dr. Dawn. How you doing?
Okay, and she'll be able to speak a little bit more as well as it goes. So first, I'd like to just kind of jump in. I know we started talking about it just a little bit earlier. I just kind of want to know, how are y'all feeling right now with everything that's going on? And this is for anybody.
I can speak on it. I mean, me personally, this David Mulugheta, by the way. I mean, it's unfortunate what's going on, obviously, and it's hitting everybody differently.
Hey, David, turn on your camera, man.
I can't.
We need to see your face, man.
I'm bad internet service here. But I know it's affecting everybody differently. But as far as, you know, me, I think the biggest part of this is to take advantage. I know MJD just said he was working out and doing what he needed to do to stay healthy, but really just taking advantage of that time at home. I think a lot of times, you know, getting caught up in the hustle bustle, what everybody does for a living, sometimes you forget about what's important, whether it's health, whether it's family, whatever it may be to you. So for me, just being there, I got 3 little boys, you know, 6, 4, and 2. So being able to be with them, you know, with my wife, who, you know, you gain a whole new respect for what women do when they take care of the home. So just being here with them and just watching her with them and the daily activities she has to have for them to stay busy. I think if you're, first off, a new respect for your significant other A, and B, just spending that time around your kids. You know, for me, I haven't been home 14 days in a row in probably 5, 6 years. So, you know, it definitely just take advantage of that time.
Yeah, for sure. Same here. I've been in the house, and I think Georgia, where I am, we just got the notification where we're sheltered and we can't go anywhere starting at 6 o'clock p.m. today. So we're stuck in, and that's just about it.
Yeah, I think for me, I was at work when California kind of started to shut down, and tried to get away, try to run from it a little bit. I thought heading to Florida would be nice, but I'm here in Florida now where it's your 30 days. Our 30 days started yesterday, so I think it's important for everyone here to kind of figure out what you like. You know, I know football is a big part of a lot of what we do, and obviously the guys that are playing and people that are involved in the in that industry, it kind of takes over your mind that like football is everything. But I just found out at the age of 34, I like to travel and cook. And I never really had a chance to really sit down and think about it. Don't get me wrong, my cooking's not the best. I'm not no personal chef or anything, but I am learning how to do different things. And this time, just like David said, is that you can find new things to do. If it's, just getting more involved with your family. If it's, just really, if you have children, figuring out what they like to do, because in our sport and in our industry, you don't have 24 hours, right? Football consumes everything. So this is a chance for you to really sit down and figure out what you want to do and kind of start planning for that life after football.
Right. Agreed. I know that when we first talked about this, like you said, cooking and traveling, you kind of learn a little bit more about yourself. That helps like treat a lot of the anxieties that are going on through people's mind, because I have a really big feeling that this isn't something that is going to be over within like a couple weeks. I have a feeling like we'll be dealing with this for quite some time, and then the effects of it, it'll last further than the actual pandemic itself. So it's a lot of people that are a little bit less fortunate than us that may or may not have, people that they need during this time. I know when I spoke with Jared initially about being on the call, we talked about people that are quarantined or in the house with loved ones, and people who may or may not be able to be with their loved ones. They may be stuck in toxic relationships or being forced to be with abusers. So, for Jared, I kind of wanted you to just elaborate a little bit more on what we talked about as far as that.
It's not only adults that have to deal with other adults. It's kids that got to deal with asshole parents that they get their ass beat for doing nothing. It's just bad people that you stuck with at home all day. That's different. You don't get no break during the day. You don't get to go to school. You don't get to go to work. So this is your life now, and that's pretty tough for people to cope with on any daily basis. So to be there stuck at home all day, I'm pretty sure it's super bad.
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of kids, like we said, they have to go to school. That's their outlet, and it changes a lot for them. Yes. I know, like David said earlier, he travels and he's been, I guess, not at home for 2 days or 2 minutes. So Brandon, Tory, and David, you guys have a lot of interaction with everybody here on this call pretty much. So, tell me, what have y'all, been doing? Because y'all are usually on planes from city to city. How has it really affected y'all? Tory, Brandon, David?
I can speak for myself. It's been three weeks now since I've traveled, and I haven't did that, like David said, in years. And so it makes it tough. It's different. Unfortunately, I am a bachelor, so it's not like it's a lot of family around here where I'm at. But I think this is a time where you can do a lot of self-reflection, because I feel like even though we're going through this pandemic and it's unfortunate, each one of us on this chat is very blessed and all right, whether it's been family, financially, whatever it is, our health. But I think this is also a time where we do self-reflection to come out of this, whenever it's over with, a better person, first of all. But also, it's also a time where we check in on our loved ones, because there are a lot of people out there struggling, people losing jobs. It's a lot bigger than just athletics. People, trying to figure out how they're going to eat day to day. People worried about their loved ones who are sick right now. A couple weeks ago, my daughter, David and Brandon knows this. My daughter had to get tested for the virus a few weeks ago. It was a scary time for about a week. I was scared, nervous, a lot of praying. Come to find out, she had walking pneumonia. So I was fortunate enough to not have the virus, but she had walking pneumonia, so we're still dealing with that. So it certainly kind of hit home close to be like, this thing is very serious out here, that we got to take it serious, checking on our loved ones, but also we got to, count our blessings, because we are blessed and we are very fortunate. But we definitely have to do some self-reflection and come out of this, whether it's a few weeks from now, months from now, be a better overall person.
Yeah, I can speak on that too. Self-care is definitely important. like you said, Keisha, I can't remember the last time I've been home, you know, for 3 or 4 days in a row. So making it 3 weeks in a row, self-care is definitely high right now. Getting a chance to check on my dad because he's here in Atlanta, and my parents as well, checking on loved ones. But we are very fortunate to still have a job like everybody else on this call. But man, so much of what I do and Tory and David, I guess they can speak on this too, is we see our clients so much. You know, we're so hands-on when it comes to seeing our guys and not being able to get on the plane and see them at times. A lot of FaceTime calls, checking in, letting our guys know what's going on financially related throughout the market, especially with the rookies like T and CeeDee, just making sure they understand what's going on throughout this tough time, not being able to go to the draft, just checking in on them. And just our vets as well, just keeping them updated on their portfolios and just making sure everything is still up to date on everything. So self-care, maintaining what's going on, and just keeping everything abreast.
Agreed. I see. When I was watching the news, and I was reading another article, and like we all try to relate to sports, of course, because you know it's so impactful. A lot of people I read where some child, you know, they were really, really upset at the fact that, you know, the sports usually their outlet and they're not able to do that. And so I know you guys can really speak to that, especially like for Rob. I know that the season is kind of been postponed and it's over for you. So I just kind of want to know, like, from you, how you feel during this time and, you know, what you're doing is.
Right now where I'm at, like I said, I've never experienced like the lockout or anything. Like, so this is all it is basically just a form of the lockout. So, you know, not having any ties to basketball, but it happening mid-season is like what's like right when people are we get into the prime of everything. So, like everybody getting into the rhythm. This is what we start locking in. And like games really matter at this point. There's some people that building momentum and we get ready for playoffs and everything. You know, taken away because this whole pandemic. Not really much that you can do about it. So, but we just trying to do it and just stay, stay ready. But it's hard when, you know, being so active and being pro, like doing so much and having a day just for it to be, you know, remotely stopped so quick. And like, for like the first week and a half, like my routine stayed the same. It was just like a shock. Like, yeah, I'm getting up, taking a nap, going, eating lunch the same time, eating brunch the same, like thinking I'm going to shoot. Like, did that for like a week and didn't realize. So this is really going on right now. Yeah. Like, because you've been doing it since I've been doing it at the same routine. And, you know, for it to just remotely stop. And then at this point, like I said, getting ready for playoffs. And playoffs is things that, you know, these times, these games is crucial. Like, you're in that number 5 seed. And this game, basically, next 12 or so games, like, really bad. So, like, they was all momentum builders. We was having a lot of things going on. And like you said, we starting to turn that curve and like we make that strong push. They told us midway through the fight that basically things about to be shut down. Like, we literally was on a plane halfway to LA and they made us navigate and turn the plane around. Like, and we have no control. It was like, all right. They was like, well, this game is gonna be canceled. Then they just started knocking games off. Then they was like, we suspended the season. So it's really up in the air for us. Like, we don't even know.
Are y'all still practicing?
No, we can't do anything. They shut down can't even go to the gym.
So what are you doing in the meantime?
Meantime, I went and bought my basketball room in my driveway.
Okay.
So I still get my shots up. I still get my reps. It's more like form shooting because I hate running out. I hate playing on concrete now. So I definitely, like I said, just get form. I do a little bit of like conditioning, like shooting drills.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. And I bought some weights. I work out by my pool. We started like a video conference as well with our strength trainer where we'll be able to do stuff at home. So we're gonna do that. And like I said, it's like standing. My agent and them are ordering me my assistant, she's ordering me a Nordy track bike because Peloton is damn near impossible to get one right now.
Yeah.
So that's the way I can sit up there and promote because I outside ran on the track and I seen how many people was outside. I was like, nope, I'm not coming back.
I saw that contract you signed. You can buy mine.
David. Okay. And I see everything. Everybody's really kind of in this together. We're just like stuck, not knowing. I mean, they canceled basketball. Hopefully football. I mean, I think that's something where they said the season should be time. So, I mean, all of you guys play. And I know Kassidy, you have workouts and stuff as well. And I'd love for you to chime in on like what you're doing in the time and some of these other guys as well to prepare for the season.
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Kassidy, for y'all who don't know me. I'm a diver. I live in Houston, and I was training for the summer's Olympics, which have obviously been postponed, much like everybody else's sports. But yeah, so I've just been trying to keep my routine as closely as I can to what it normally is possible. Obviously, with diving, you have to have like special facilities. It's not like running. You can just like pop outside and go running. You need to have a pool, you need to have the diving boards, which like are not really something that you can just have in your backyard. So for the most part, I try to like mirror my my practice schedules, but with like different workouts. So I usually have a morning practice and an afternoon practice. And so I'll just wake up and do like, a bike workout or some plyometrics, something fun. A lot of people have been doing things on Instagram, which have been super helpful in helping me stay safe. But yeah, just trying to keep a routine going because I noticed when I first heard about all this news about canceled, about like how rapidly this virus was spreading, I went into like a minor like state of shock and kind of like depression in terms of like I didn't know what to do with my life. Like I quit my job, I moved from California back home to train, and like for the Olympics, it only happens every 4 years. So like that uncertainty of not knowing whether or not it was going to be canceled or moved or, or they were going to hold them on time, but nobody was going to be able to train for God knows how long, months, weeks, however long this was going to take. It was just really hard to deal with. And so I kind of just, I didn't do anything for a couple of days. Like I just kind of sat in my own sadness. But I've later on reflected that, this is such a small thing in the grand scheme of things compared to what's going on in the world. Like people are losing loved ones. People, like you guys said, like are being holed up in their house and may not have, the advantages that most of us do have. And so it kind of just put things into perspective. And I was like, okay, I gotta stay positive in this, look for silver linings and just kind of like take control of what I can control, because I can't control all of those things that are going on out there. And so, focusing on the negatives isn't really going to help me or help anyone in my life. And so just, focusing on what I can control and staying positive has really been my main goal so far.
And are you, you have your therapist too?
Pardon?
You see a therapist as well?
Yeah, I work with Dr. Brown.
Ah.
So, yeah.
You guys having like virtual sessions now?
Yes. We meet like, quarterly, and then we meet like sometimes off that schedule as well. So that's been really helpful, just having her as a resource. That's the power of technology. Like you're able to do so much nowadays that you weren't able to do back then because everything was in person. So like really using the power of technology to help stay in a mentally healthy place. And I think that's why this is great, just because a lot of people right now, like there is this fear of physical health out there, like the coronavirus, but I think this is also a really hard time for mental health as well, because like you said, people are holed up in home, and some people are alone, or some people are in bad situations, and so they might feel alone or abandoned. But using the power of technology, we can share our stories, we can share our workouts, we can share, positivity, and that can help them not feel so alone, because we're all going through this together, even though, we may not be able to see one another. But by sharing and talking about it and doing things like this, I think it can really contribute to staying in a mentally healthy place.
I'll say, Coty, I know I talked to you and your wife a little bit about it. And I think y'all may have virtual sessions as well. Do you and Dr. Dawn kind of share as well, since y'all actually have sessions with therapists during this time? Has been helpful for you?
Mainly just trying to get closer to God. You know what I'm saying? Being an athlete, we travel a lot. So just putting God first, pouring into the family a lot. Like you said, getting to spend a lot of time with my wife, getting to spend more time with the kids. I never realized how hard that was, you know what I'm saying, until you shacked up in the house with them all day. Yeah. But just keeping the main thing, trying to keep my routine as simple as possible, and just enjoying this time with family, and hopefully this passes soon.
I know we all want time to pass along, of course. I was even, as we talk about sports, I want to hear from CeeDee, and he is still on. I know with the draft being canceled, how's that kind of affecting you guys, personally and professionally? Because this is something for a long time, and you have your peers here online who've been where you are. So
yeah, with the draft being canceled, it was a bummer. Because you kind of you wait your whole life for your name to get called on the draft stage. Walk across the stage, shake Roger Goodell's hand. Just all the small things, all the events going on leading up to it, and for it to be canceled by a main part or a main source in the universe as of COVID. You gotta find something like a happy median. And by that I was in Norman kind of when we find out everything, what was going on. And then as soon as I left from Norman to come to Houston with my family, I found out that Norman had been shut down for 30 days. So it's kind of going through that process and that stage, and everybody's kind of on lockdown. And they have a fine, they have this rule, if you get pulled over, you get a $750 fine in Norman, or you either go to jail for 6 months. So it's just kind of just staying in, keeping the main, like you said, keeping the main thing, staying positive throughout this tough time. Enjoy time with your family, people that you haven't seen in a long time, and just try to build a bond and make happiness out of what's really a disaster. And just coming in, waking up day in and day out, just trying to continue to work, be the best version of myself every day, trying to stay active, proactive, play the game, and just stay safe. That's all. That's pretty much all you can do.
Yeah, for me, it's having its up and downs with me, simply because, the positive thing about spending time with my mom, I'm real big on family, so I get to spend time with her. But then also the negative thing about it for me is, I'm not able to go through this process like all the other guys in here have. I wanted to enjoy it. It's my first time doing it, and my only time I'm gonna be able to do it. But I'm just really trying to find a gym to work out in. Here we already on the lockdown, so it's just hard for me. I've been working out in my backyard, doing whatever I can to make to gain from this. But other than that, it's just really enjoying time with my family.
Great. That's the best, and I know that you guys probably really were looking forward to this, and having your family there. I can only imagine, how it is. It's such an excitement, but like you said, I think both of y'all have really good attitudes and are super positive and optimistic about what's going to happen. So, Dominique, you there? I got a question for you.
What's going on? Talk to me.
Oh, Hey, Derwin. Dominique. So you're a vet. I know that much. And with COVID-19 going on and, you know, the travel ban and stuff like that, how is it for you as far as want to travel and work out with teams and stuff? I know you're probably not able to do anything. So what's going on with you?
Oh man, to be honest, them days, you know, just talking through Black, I told him, anything to do with a workout, man, just push your bike. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely still traveling though. You know, my son don't live with me. He lives in Houston. You know what I mean? So I be back and forth between Houston and Florida. I mean, I stay as safe as I can. You know what I mean? But I'm a little different from everybody else. Like, I don't really take too much shit serious. See what I'm saying? But I take this a little serious. But I'm still gonna live my life. Like, I'm still out here. Like 3 days a week, I open up my gym. I got my little basketball court. I have no more than 15 to 20 people in there. You know, I Lysol everything. I take the precautionary steps that I need to keep everybody safe. But for the most part, man, I gotta still live because I realize this lockdown made me realize, bro, I ain't shit. I can't cook. I don't really got down. Nah, real talk. Like, bro, it made me realize, like, I'm 34. This stuff I should know how to do. But if we really go on a lockdown, like, we can't leave the house, bro, I'm gonna have to have family here. You know, so I think I'll take this time, man, to just get on YouTube. I be doing little cooking classes and stuff, man. But I'm still out here. I'm just learning how to be a better me, a better man. Because at the end of the day, man, this thing just made me realize, man, there's a lot in this world, dog, that if some shit were to really go on and stuff was to really go down, I'd be lost. That's why you ain't never seen me on Survivor or nothing like that. And Casey, man, I appreciate you sitting up too, man, sitting there looking like a little model, man. You got to cut that shit out. you gotta stop that, man. But I'm still out here head first, though. You know what I'm still doing my thing, but just talk, man.
What's on this man, bro?
Nah, man, the man was like this, man.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, but I'm still living my life. You know what I mean?
Okay, what about you, Derwin? What about you, Casey?
Oh man, me, I'm hanging strong. You know, winning a little tournament, playing Madden, working out, the usual.
Oh yeah, so you inside? I heard you won Wednesday and yesterday, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Big W. You know, I got to bring it for the game. Tight.
You still working out?
Oh yeah, every day. My gym's still open, but it's only like 6 people going though. Like, so yeah, I'm still in there.
Yeah. And Maurice, I know you could probably do some of your work from home a little bit, but I know you travel a lot. What do you have going on?
Yeah, I've been traveling. Well, you know, I went to South America for a while when all this was starting to pick up. So I was international when the COVID-19 was coming this way. You know, traveling and seeing different things, and with work going from New York to LA to San Francisco to LA to Florida. I mean, you just have to be, you got to really just be, first and foremost, you got to take care of yourself. And I mean, I think that's what we're hearing a lot of is just like self-care, right? So wash your hands, and, you know, if you're going to call for sneeze, put your arm up, those type of things. But then for work purposes, like technology has been huge for me. Zoom has been one way we've done things, IG Live. Matter of fact, since we got everybody on here, I'm gonna make sure I follow everybody, and y'all can all come on my IG Live, and we can rap a little bit. You know, Derwin, first and foremost, I don't know how you won the Madden tournament. They didn't have me in it, so you got to see me.
Man, you don't want no smoke with me, man.
You already know what time it is. Hope I don't get back to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And I know Jalen's your road dog. He can come on and get him some as well too. But yeah, but I think technology is allowing us to do a lot of things that we normally don't do, right? You know, being able to FaceTime and interact with different people. I see my dog B-Mac on here. I haven't seen B-Mac in a while. But it allows me to still do my job, which is, you know, watch tape, break down film, do free agency, talk about the draft, interact with the fans of the NFL, interact with my former teammates, and then obviously, you know, some of these young guys that are in here as well. And then it's awesome too, you know, to be able to have a therapist like Dr. Don, who is here, that, you know, we can lean on sometimes, because as Black men, it's hard in this world. And, you know, to be able to talk to someone about some of our problems that, you know, we may not be able to talk about, that are going to come up in this time when we're kind of confined and quarantined is huge. So it's helped me out a lot. You know, I think technology has been a way that I can still do work and write. You know, and Keisha, I appreciate you for bringing me on with all these fine people here, especially Derwin, because I'm gonna get after him probably later on. I saw what you did to them cats. Them dudes know how to play Madden. So I'll give you a real challenge. And you know, like I said, it's just all about having fun and really being in the moment, living and enjoying the moment.
For sure. I agree with everything he said, except for he gonna beat me. That's everything. That's how I appreciate y'all bringing your boy home, though.
Hey, B-Mac.
I don't know it. I know it.
What's up, Jit?
What's up? Talk to me. How you living over there?
Man, I'm over here, man. I'm just trying to get through. You know, for me, I guess this whole process, you know, makes you really appreciate things a lot more. I think for us, we kind of take things for granted. Good health, number one. We take for granted freedom, the ability to go out and socialize and do what we've been doing our entire life. Not being able to do that, you look at things from a different perspective now. And especially when it comes to good health. I know for me, I have a lot of elderly people in my life who have underlying health issues. So you kind of, you know, extremely, you know, thoughtful about them. And then I have little ones as well. I have a family that I have. So, you know, you're trying to be mindful and make sure you do everything that you need to do to keep yourself safe so they're safe. I think this is a good opportunity. I'm appreciative that, you know, Black and Keisha wanted to include me in this. But right now, so it's a lot of unknown and a lot of uncertainty going on. So for us being able to provide some type of positive vibe is important. It's important. People look for some type of positive energy, something positive outside of what we're dealing with to kind of get your mind off of the known, which is the coronavirus. I watched so much coronavirus stuff, and I started feeling sick. I thought I you know, spazzing out because that's all I was watching. But when you start feeding yourself with negative energy, sometimes that takes a part of who you are. And for me, I kind of stay tuned about what's going on, but I don't overflow myself with it because I'm trying to look for the positive and, you know, find ways to be encouraged. I think this is a positive way for us to encourage people to get quality connection. You know, for guys that we played in the league, you know, for individuals like yourself, Dr. Brown and Kassidy and Keisha, just being able to reach out as possible because people are looking for some type of positive light, and we can provide.
Yeah, I'm glad you chimed in, B-Mac, because my next question was because I wanted to hear your perspective on what's going on. And like you said, just being able to shed some light and be positive, you know, check on one another. And athletes and non-athletes, everybody's going through something, and everybody, you know, really needs to use this time to, you know, either whether it's journaling, whether it's finding something that they really enjoy doing, whether it's getting outside for a little bit, whether it's, you know, working on a business plan that you've been working on for quite some time, whether it's like trying to get your own workouts, whatever we can possible to make sure that we're mentally stable during this time, because it is a traumatic experience for everybody. And, you know, although we maybe sometimes joke about it, it is something that's really serious, and a lot of lives have been impacted. I kind of get open. I want to hear from Dr. Don. I want to know what you've seen so far working with people. Your session, I know you've had to meet with people, and the COVID-19 has caused a lot of anxiety. So I want to hear from you.
Sure. Well, Keisha, thank you so much, first of all, for having me on as part of this wonderful panel. Brothers, thank you so much for just contributing what your experience has been like. I've been working with professional athletes, elite, considering collegiate, professional, those who are transitioning as far as retired, as well as Olympians like Kassidy, for about 8 years now. And outside of my private practice, I have 3 private practices. And so outside of that work, working with athletes has been an amazing experience for me, because they don't have, a lot of athletes don't have access And so, first of all, I want to just share like a soft launch. So mental health athletics is a concierge practice that I have. It's just focusing for athletes, and I'm inviting any one of you a complimentary service that I am here for y'all. I'm here for y'all if you want to talk. And I know this is a difficult time. Athletes, 1 in 4 athletes, professional athletes, actually are at risk of acquiring a mental health condition. So we're not even talking about COVID. We're talking about just in general, in comparison to the general population, which is a little bit higher. So athletes are more prone to have anxiety, depression, substance use, some conditions. And I know a lot of you are safeguards for your family. A lot of your family members are depending on you as well. And so a lot of athletes don't have people to talk to. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know who to trust, who to connect with. And, the pot is very small. So I'm here for you all. And, so I just want to make sure that you all are aware of that. My experience in working with my current athletes, which I do not give their names because it's confidential. Kassidy is a little different because she's actually a part of my new kind of business I'm starting for for athletes and connected to mental services. But with the athletes I work with, there are different phases. Like, for example, I have a college athlete who was preparing for the draft, the MLB draft, and his whole thing got canceled. He was a catcher. He's on scholarship for baseball. He was doing quite well. He was talking with scouts, and all of a sudden, all of that just disappeared. Working with about 4 or 5 professional athletes in football league right now, who just got signed, right, to different teams, ready to go out on the field, and all of a sudden, NBA, like Covington said, just how they are playing right now, things are going well. All of a sudden, they got to shut down the gym. This has just been a traumatic, situation. It's like a bad dream, right, for everybody. But I do want to encourage y'all from the physician, doctor, practical, because I've talked to people who are on the first line, like my best friend's ER doctor. I've had a lot of interviews on my platform on Facebook, and I just talked to someone who actually has encountered the virus and who was actually in the hospital and is now in recovery at home. He got the virus from working out at a gym. We have to be careful, y'all. We have to take this seriously. Slim Thug said it as well. He was practicing at his best, safe habits, and trying to maintain, hygiene and eat right and routine. And he actually contracted the virus. So, y'all, this is serious. You got to mask up if you have to go out. But I recommend, if your home is a safe place for you, stay at home. That is the message that all the physicians are giving to their patients, the community. So you have to stay at home, find creative ways to work out, maybe using technology like Kassidy is saying to get your workouts in on, play games, spend time with your loved ones. I love the power of prayer. It is mighty, but stay at home, y'all. This is real and it's serious. And the thing about this virus, just want to say this, we do not know a lot about it. We have different forms of viruses that are in the same family as COVID-19, like SARS and MERS that happened, but we didn't have enough studies to even see how this is actually working. And even with the studies that we had from those previous viruses, we really don't know much about it. So we know the common symptoms are like, headache, fever, non-productive cough, those are the typical things, right? But we really don't know. A lot of people are asymptomatic, which means we don't even know, they don't even know they have. They're not. So we're still trying to understand that. And so, stay at home, y'all. Stay at home. Please stay at home.
Agreed. So do y'all have any advice for all the viewers, all the listeners, letting everybody know? Of course, we told them what we're doing. Something positive, just put it out in the atmosphere for everybody to keep them encouraged and keep them going like us. I guess for everybody.
I know. I think one thing will be entertaining. I know I heard MJD call out Derwin on the Madden, and also called out Jalen on the Madden. Things like that would be entertaining for people to see. I mean, there are a lot of fans that support, you guys, especially for the ones that still playing. But being able to get their minds off everything that's going on, I think that would be cool to see. Because myself, I used to be a Madden champ myself, but I, stepped away from the controller. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't mind watching you guys. You know what I mean? I heard some things about MJD, and they said he used to be tough, so I don't know how he is, but I think things like that would be cool. You know what I mean? And filming your workouts and filming some of the things you're doing in your day-to-day grind to kind of get yourself prepared for the season. And you said you writing a lot, going through the process, showing people what that takes, and be with you and doing the things that you're doing financially. I think any little thing right now is helpful. But for all you guys that are video gamers that consider yourself to be gamers, put that thing on IG Live. Let everybody see what you got.
All money on Derwin. All money on Derwin.
Brandon,
Let him bet it.
call you by your government name. The last time you were me, what happened? Where's Casey?
Hey, that was
Outside.
Casey, where you? I haven't seen your face. Where are you?
Hey, Black,
yo.
you know they all scared of Charles.
Man, Charles is a bomb. I don't know.
Man,
why
don't
you,
do that.
you
Charles.
can't. Hey, the reason why Charles can't get a game, bro, he don't be paying people, bro.
You forgot.
That's why he can't get a game. Like, his name bad out here, bro.
Me and Charles just beat you.
I just blew him out.
The last time we played, I won.
Y'all trying to TikTok, y'all go on T now.
Yes, sir.
Hey, before everybody get off, I
Challenge
gotta
you
show
on T
y'all
on
something.
TikTok.
So you got
Before everybody get off,
I'm about to show something. Hold on.
before everybody get off, I gotta show y'all something. Since ain't nobody gonna be able to see it,
Who is that?
nobody ain't gonna be able to see it. I might as well show y'all.
Yes, sir.
Look at that boy looking good.
Yes, sir.
That boy looking good, huh?
Yeah, you clean. Draft suit on, man.
Yeah, you might as well wear it now. Huh?
Keyword, man.
Hey.
Hey, hey, Keisha,
Boy, looking good, T.
you can tell that man an agent and financial advisor are Kappas. You can tell that.
Oh, man.
Oh, you gotta stop.
Hey, do I see where you at, boy, with a suit on, boy, outside?
Oh, no, I thought it was a professional call, but they tricked me. Hey, bro, but check out though.
I'm getting ready for Easter Sunday.
Hey, brother, I knew you didn't have on the full suit. I knew it.
Hey, shit, when you bought that suit, that can't be tailor made.
That boy got on a jacket with some good
Jacket.
shorts.
That ain't a
Man, you
That
know
boy
I
got
go
draws
to
on.
That's that K&G, Steve Harvey line.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I guess my dog don't. Hey, Ron, boy.
Huh?
Derwin?
I said, I guess my dog don't like my neighbor's music because he went right to the gate and started barking.
No, you got dogs?
Horses. His dogs are like this big.
No, sir.
What kind of dogs he got? Ooh, what is that, a Cane Corso?
Uncle Casey.
Yo.
Damn.
Dog gonna kill, man.
Corso.
Jalen,
Yeah.
you got some advice for everybody? We're trying to keep everybody positive and uplifted during this time. What you been up to and what's your advice to everybody? Audio's trying to connect.
That boy Jalen stuck, ain't he?
Well, I'm looking. I'm like,
Cheers, Jalen.
Boy,
He can hear that.
I'm on this motherfucker now, though. What's up, Pale?
boy, what they do, yo?
What's up, Alex?
What's up?
You got some advice for us? We're trying to keep everybody uplifted and good spirits and positive and, share what we're doing.
Y'all stay quarantined clean out here, man, in these streets. Stay inside. Don't be outside. You ain't got nothing to prove. Get closer to God through this. Stay inside. Do some calf raises, some abs, some push-ups, sit-ups, something. Take it serious. Serious as you can possibly take it, just because we never know when it could be over with. But I'd rather take it serious in hopes of it being over quicker than not taking it serious and then it dragging out much longer than it needs to. And just keep checking in on like your loved ones and your friends and everybody, especially anybody who like lonely, living like that single life like your boy, cause it be lonely now, but I've been good though.
Bro, I thought you just had a girlfriend, bro.
Yeah, I had to get rid of her before this quarantine.
Oh,
Oh my God.
here we go.
Had to go.
Bro, this man here, bro.
Had to go.
I feel you on that single life, dog.
She had to go. I'm sorry. Miss Dawn, you feel me?
I feel you.
Hey, I gotta keep my mental right.
Hey, that boy.
Shout out, DJ.
I don't even know what to follow up after that. I don't even know what to say.
CeeDee, what's up, boy?
We're good with you.
Cool.
Hey,
They ain't even let y'all walk, man. That messed up, bro.
bro, you telling me I gotta sit here and look at TV? Y'all boys on something totally different now. We supposed to be on here talking about
What?
we
Hey,
gotta
bro,
we gotta have a whole conversation,
talking,
bro.
Bro, these
So, Daddy,
FaceTime
what
meetings
happened
so
to your
weird with
background,
these
little
coaches.
daddy? Ooh.
Huh?
What happened to your background, little daddy?
I had to go and take it off. You see what I'm saying? I want to see the full fit, bro. I'm kidding. Gotta go to grab screenshot, bro. Hold on, get the face around, bro.
Oh man.
Man, I'm right, bro. I'm right, bro.
Look at those guys.
Your son.
Yeah, partner.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm gonna tag you, yo. Yes, sir.
I get a chance to check in on each other often or no?
Yeah, I feel like I've been checking in with my dog, most of my dogs, kinda.
For real.
Y'all make sure
Social media be the way you. But like, nah, physically, we gotta start. Like I said, it be a lot that be going on. People don't realize, especially people with the virus or whatnot. Like, families that are affected by it, they can't even see their families. Like once they get tested for it, or especially the older folks, like when they get admitted or they go to the hospital, like you can't see them after that. Like, so you don't know what's going on. You might be able to talk to them for a little bit, but
Mac and Maurice, so like with the draft coming up and like all the mock drafts and everything going on, and then obviously like free agency, are they pretty much having y'all just do everything from home, or is it just a lot of call-ins or what?
Man, for me, man, I done did 1,000 mock drafts. I'm mock draft out. I do one every week. Every week. I got CeeDee, I got you going to the Raiders. So hopefully that works out well. But yeah, the free agency stuff, still wait for the big fish that's still out there. So just repeating everything, try to give people something to look at and to talk about, try to create some type of barbershop talk. So right now it's all about draft and the free agency. And hopefully in the next few months, we come to terms and understand that there will be football in place, regularly scheduled. So just mock draft, I done did 1,000 mock drafts, so I'm tired of mock draft. But it is what it is. I can't complain at all. I gotta be excited about it, and I am.
Yeah, B-Mac, you're crazy. I've only done 2 mock drafts, and they were the hardest things I've ever had to do. But writing, I'm doing more writing now. You find it on NFL.com. Probably start writing about different teams and different things. Working with the Rams and the stuff they have going on.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of the stuff, that's right, Jalen, Ramley. But everything is all digital, which is what the world's coming to anyways. And I think, we're going to start to find out that you can do a lot of things from home. You can do a lot of things where you don't have to go in, and it'll kind of ease a lot of people's mind with stress they have of the everyday getting up, getting in traffic, going to work. Some people don't have to do that, and as we've seen, Zoom has had over 200 million people or meetings over the last whatever it is, because the NFL is kind of going digital as well. So it's definitely going to help out a lot in the long run.
Free agency is crazy. Man, what's your take on it, Coty and Dominique? Obviously, going through the free agency, not being able to go to a team, work out, and do things of that nature. Like, how's that affecting y'all?
I think it's kind of different. Obviously we ain't never been through it before, but it's the cards we dealt, so we got to take it on the chin and rock with it. That's how I look at it. I mean, it could be a lot worse, so.
True.
Yeah, good positive outlook. I like it.
Definitely.
I don't know if Crow's still in here. I don't see him.
Dominique.
I think he was there.
He might have put himself on mute.
I think he had it muted.
Yeah, he might have put the whole suit on for real. What about you, David and Tory? I mean, obviously, like with the free agency stuff going on, like as far as communicating with clients and stuff like that, how's that going for y'all?
I mean, it certainly is different this go around because you got the owners and you got the teams that don't want to spend as much money because, first of all, we don't know if we're going to have a season. We hope we do.
Chill out now.
I mean, we all hope we have a season. I mean, we all depend on it. But
I'm telling you,
but it's one of those things where, it's a month, into a free agency. So pretty much all the money, the big money is pretty much dried up at this point. So it's just one of those things outside of free agency, just staying in contact with the clients. Like you said earlier, Brandon, we spend a lot of time with our clients hands-on, not being able to see these guys in their face and spend time with them. And someone like CeeDee, my client on here, and going through this draft process, out there, not by itself, but, not being able to be there with him and walk him through these last, weeks. It's certainly rough and tough, but, a lot of communication, over-communication, I think, happening right now. That's the most important thing.
True.
Hey, I got a question. Hey, Tory, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Hey, if we don't play, what happens on our contract? I ain't getting no younger.
We don't play, man. Hey, right now, where it seems like nobody gonna eat, we don't play.
It ain't like college how we get a year back, is it?
Nah. Right now, man, everybody's anticipating that we're gonna start on time and play. I think the all-season workout's gonna be out the window. Anticipation, we're gonna play.
All right, say less.
Boy, you better play more Madden, boy, if y'all don't play.
No, I'm just saying, we ain't gonna get no young. Ain't like they can give us a year back or nothing.
Hey, we back on live or we off live?
What you say?
No, we back on.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna turn my video on. We still live though. Never mind.
Oh no, it's not on. Go ahead.
Nah,
but put your beard on here, boy.
You really didn't look bad, David.
There
Thank
you go.
You look.
But there you go, boy. You look.
You look really sophisticated.
What that boy look? A-Rab.
Hey, bro, please tell me we off live with him talking like that.
We not. We still on, man.
We still on.
We had to fool you.
Yeah.
We're glad you graced us with your presence.
Hey man, this man David is so funny, bro. So I know you see at the top right corner it says record.
Hey, let me see the head, David. Let me see the head, bro.
Just put on a hat. Just put on a hat, Dave. You see what Black did? Look,
I ain't got no hat. Bro. My head big. I ain't got no hat.
Big as hell.
Right, here we go.
Why you turn it off, bro? Turn your video on, Dave.
I'm good, man.
Come on, man. Don't act like that. We in quarantine, dog.
I need to laugh today, bro. Turn your video on, bro.
Brandon put on a hat.
Oh yeah, I was
Brandon look good in the hat, bro. I'm proud of you. You look good in that hat. You look a lot better than he looked in his suit.
You got on your do-rag, man. You cool.
Yeah, man.
Take that big rag off.
Actually, if you're like, if you don't have no worries like that.
Hey, Coty, I'm about to grow this thing out, boy.
We gotta check on y'all, but I'm really glad y'all jumped on the call today. Kind of warms my heart to be able to check on everybody. It seems like y'all are in good spirits. CeeDee, I'm really happy to hear how y'all are in really good spirits. Everybody else sounds like y'all just doing family things. Before we leave, if there's anything you guys want to get off your chest or anything to talk about, encouraging everybody else, this is the time. But until then, we have next time.
Hey, thank you for putting this together, Keish. We appreciate it.
I'm going to get more tattoos. I'll holler at y'all.
Nice to meet y'all.
Be safe, bro.
I'm going to get more.
Appreciate you, Keisha.
All right, June.
Be safe.
Y'all be safe.
All right,
hey,
fellas.
David was the first one to leave, boy.
Boy, out of there.
How you leave?
David was the first one to leave.
Got out of there.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
I'll send y'all's information later.
All right.
Bye. Thank you, Dr. Don.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's just us two, Brody.
Look, I ain't got. I'm
I'm
finna go.
gonna end this and I'm gonna FaceTime you.
All right.
All right.